What's going on, Banana Squad? This is Professor Crypto Banana, and today I'm doing a collaboration video with Dex Laboratory. He's actually from Poland, believe it or not, but he speaks great English, and I'm going to do a little bit more insight as to what is the attitude towards crypto out there on the Polish side and how he's developed his YouTube channel and his following. So, Dex Laboratory, why don't you introduce yourself? Say hi to the audience.
Hi guys, it's very nice to meet you and very nice to be here. Thank you very much, Professor, for having me here on the show. It's a pleasure. So basically, I'm doing DeFi. I'm doing everything Dex related as per the nickname. Dex Laboratory,
Oh.
taking the stuff to the Dex Lab. Putting it on the table and experimenting with whatever comes to my hand when it comes to any DeFi space.
I didn't even put that together, but that was very clever. I like that. I was thinking more Dexter's Laboratory. At least on the US side, it was a kid's cartoon. So I don't know if that
Same,
was a
same, same. I also know it from my young days. But yeah.
gotcha, gotcha. Okay, so let's just hop in right into the questions. So how would you say is the outlook on crypto over there in Europe, especially in Poland? Are people very open to it? Is it kind of just more of a not a lot of people touch it? Are they scared of it? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I believe that in Poland, the subject of crypto is still pretty fresh, but there is more and more people, especially in young generation, at least those between age of 18 and 30, that are very open-minded about it, and they don't see any issues discussing it. But then again, even in my age group, around people in the age of 30, so my colleagues and so on, they are extremely skeptical. This is still like, oh, this is the work of the devil, this is a scam, this is a one big Ponzi, and stuff like that. They don't see the technology, they don't care. They only know that the Bitcoin went down 50% or something at some point, and that's it. Like, I'm not putting my money there, I'm gonna lose it. So that's why I also have my channel. I want to educate people and to familiarize them with not only the cryptocurrencies but also the blockchain technology, because this is just the next step in cybersecurity.
Yeah. So, in terms on the Polish side, what are different avenues on how people can invest? Because here on the US side, we have the US stock market, right? You got Tesla,
Yeah.
Apple, everything. And as you mentioned, Bitcoin, let's say, went down 50%. People are scared. What is considered to be normal investments over there?
Well, usually people go on either into the real estate business, so they try to purchase apartments for rent. This is extremely popular in Poland,
Hmm.
but this bubble gonna burst at some point because there is so much buildup of the apartments, and slowly the credit lines are getting dried out. Because of the inflation and everything. So the rates are hiking with the credit, so they
Oh.
won't be able to afford that much longer. And people do stocks. Very often it's like, oh, investing in some Polish stocks or European stocks.
Hmm.
In Poland we have this WIG 20, which is like top 20 companies put together, and we are calling this, like, it's funny because it's banana. We call it banana stocks because they go up and down. They don't go according to the market trends and so on. They just do random stuff, very often. But yeah, people are mostly like, yeah, the stocks are okay, even if they lose, like 30% or something. They're like, yeah, okay, but this is stocks, this is standard. So they either do this or they try to open a business, they try to run something, these type of investments. But more and more people are getting into crypto. Even people, in the 50s, actually. I was quite surprised, just hearing from, as I have maritime background, I've heard from a lot of people, from a lot of captains and so on, that they are actually investing into it, but they are
Hmm.
doing it through, Revolut and stuff like that. All these applications, not really getting the MetaMask or getting the Binance account, but rather doing this through fintech.
Is that like a centralized exchange or a private company that they go through in order to get the Bitcoin?
I think it's mostly those private apps. Like you have Robinhood, like you have
Oh.
Revolut. stuff like that. So they are trying to do it through those applications, which is
Mhm.
just easy. Just press buy, that's it. And they don't have to think too much.
So again, on the US side, I can think of Bitcoin and US dollars, etc. But I know with the Polish currency, the złota, it's the dollar is like 3 times stronger, roughly.
It's a
So
4 point something right now.
4 point something. So does that ever play a factor when looking at crypto prices? Because, for example, you
Yeah.
could say, well, Bitcoin is fractionalized and not a big deal, but then all of a sudden, first thing that comes to mind is Ethereum and the gas fees. I can't like when I look at $100 gas fees, I'm ready to cry. And if that's the equivalent of 400 on your side,
Oh yeah.
what does that mean? Like, am I?
Basically, people, yeah, when people hear Ethereum fees and so on, they're like, no way, no way, no, not with these earnings which we have in Poland. They are far too small for regular people to invest in, because
Yeah.
if they cannot pay the bills, how can they invest? It's like the gas prices. It's like about, well, now it's slightly less than $2 per 1 liter.
Hmm.
So that's crazy, when you take these average earnings, you compare it to that, and when they see that Bitcoin costs like half of the apartment, one Bitcoin, then they're like, whoa, yeah, that's like too much.
Hmm. Well, I don't know how much is 2 liters or $2 per liter because I'm on the U.S. side. So we do gallons. We
You
do
the
things a
gallons,
little
but
bit
gallons
different.
is what, 5.4 liters or 4.5, something like
We
this.
don't even try. That we should.
I'll
We
have to
should.
check it. I'll have to check it. Yeah.
Oh, no worries, but no, gas is expensive as well. I'm sure there was a time where people were like, "Oh my gosh, maybe gas got to the same point as Ethereum gas. That's amazing." Which is like, "Wait, what? Hold on. Let's think about that." But as a result, because people aren't doing Ethereum because of the gas then, let's say, do you think that's driving Poland and different countries that aren't as strong as the dollar to different blockchains as a result?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. A lot of people are going straight to the Binance Smart Chain, obviously, because of the accessibility provided by the Binance itself. So yeah, a lot of people are going towards that, and even my group, yeah, we have this active investor group.
Hmm.
Most people are oriented towards the cheaper chain, Harmony One, Phantom, Binance Smart Chain, Avalanche, Solana. Mostly those which do not hit your wallet on a single transaction.
They don't make you cry every
Yeah,
time you
yeah,
click. You're like,
exactly.
oh, right. So, in terms of the politicians and the politics, has this conversation popped up in those type of discussions? Because on the U.S. side, it definitely has. I know President Biden he gave like an executive order talking about it. There's certain senators that are trying to push regulation. Is that same thing happening on your side?
Well, basically, there is no strict crypto regulations. Like, if you want to pay the tax, this is just the basic, like 19% or something, from the capital gains. So you only pay that. And right now, as far as I know, as far as I was checking, our the treasury department, whatever, which are taking care of the taxes, they
Mhm.
still do not have a concrete system around the cryptocurrencies and how to tax them exactly. So it's a gray area still. But then again, whenever you come out from the cryptocurrency to Polish zloty, this is considered a taxable event for capital gains. But whatever you do inside, I honestly don't know, because they haven't developed any system. I don't even want to think about farms, about yield farming, about NFTs.
Mm.
I mean, I do sometimes 100 transactions per day. So I don't even want to know, what's going to happen to that.
I'm sure they don't know how to handle that either, which I think is not just on the Polish side. I think that's every country is pretty much dealing with that. So you talked about your group that kind of follows you. Can you describe more about that? Because seems like you got a following.
Yeah, well, basically, it's a funny story. I got into crypto, like actual trading, year and a month ago, exactly.
Hmm.
So I'm not, extremely experienced. I haven't experienced by myself the ICO bubble and stuff like that. But then again, I've been spending like 12 to 16 hours per day, just learning, studying, and that's every single day, no weekends, no time off, nothing like that. So basically, I just got it, got this knowledge much faster. And having a technical background, it was very easy for me to understand how the mechanisms work. And at some point, my friend told me, because I was in this group where you just pay the group, you get some education, some signals, stuff like that. He was like, well, man, why don't you just open up your own channel? Because during the May crash, I was down like 70 to 80% of my portfolio. And during this small bear market, basically I've built it all up back up, and made like triple, quadruple gains from the after building up. So he was like, man, you have the skills. He is a marketer, so he really wanted to push it. And I was like, fine, we can talk, we can discuss it. So then I opened up this Dex laboratory group within that paid educational and signal group. And after that, at some point, I just had to move on, right? I was starting to get more and bigger following. I opened up Twitter because people asked me to, not because I wanted to. I opened up YouTube channel because they asked, not because I wanted to. Because what I would love to do is just stick to trading. But since people saw that I am able to give them the knowledge, give them the education in a very easy way, they just they kept pushing. So what to do. I just decided then to open up my own Discord, and it went like that. So right now we have around 180 paid subscribers, because I believe that if people want the alpha info, they should pay something. Otherwise, they don't respect you. At least that's how it is in Poland mostly. If you don't pay for something like that, they will be, they will get a lot of crybabies. You will get a lot of people who are, complaining, even though they get everything for free, right? So
I
what I'm
see.
telling them always, you can find everything you want online. Education, 100% free. I would never like to charge for, education, because this is not fair. The materials are there. If I can collect them, if I can put them to use, if I can show it to them, that's fine. You have the education for free. But if you want some alpha info, if you want, to get some potentially explosive projects in the early stage, or if you want to get to the seed rounds because of my networking connections, well, that's going to cost you, because they basically get 24/7 support, technical support, if they mess up with some MetaMask operations or so on, or if they have some questions. I have like a crew of moderators, administrators, so there's the whole staff behind it.
So you got like an actual crew going with you,
Yeah, yeah.
doing your thing. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. I'm over here like I don't charge nobody. I don't got no Discord. But then again, I feel like my audience is very tight knit, close, and because I talk probably more about more of the advanced stuff on Phantom, I've knock on wood, I've been really lucky not to have necessarily any, crybabies or anybody that really, really needs their hand held. Because hopefully they know how to find it on their own, like you mentioned, or maybe that's just the audience that I attract. Who knows? But it seems to be working out great for you, and I don't know, maybe that's something I take some notes from your book. Okay, interesting, interesting. So you got that
Yeah,
whole crew.
Discord is great. Discord is great. I think you would benefit greatly on that.
Yeah. Well, I do actually have a Discord,
Oh,
and
you do?
it is really
Okay.
chill in there. Like we just people are just real nice, and they share the
Okay.
info. And
Okay.
even there's a project that's going to be coming up very soon by Frankie and Mirsal. They're going to be pushing out mummy punks, and that actually started in my Discord. And it wasn't like they just came in there and like we're going to start this. They were actually just similar to your situation. They said, "Hey, why don't you start up a Discord?" And I did, and we just it's been around for I don't know, 4 months or so, or
Oh,
probably
cool.
even longer. And, we never, again, knock on wood, never had really any incidences. I mean, I guess one person came in and spammed the whole thing and we had to clean that up. But other than that, hey, if you're watching this, you want to spam it, don't you spam that stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, nobody likes spammers.
Exactly. So you said that you made some really good calls. What are the areas that you primarily focus in? Is it just trading Bitcoin? You're like, okay, here are some indicators, or is it just more of the very new projects? What are the things that you're trading?
Well, my main field of expertise, I would say, is the DeFi section, and especially GameFi. because, well,
GameFi.
I love gaming. I'm a gamer since I was like, what, 4 years old. That's when
Mm,
I first
okay.
touched the computer, start playing the GTA and stuff like that. Yeah, that's not good for a kid, right? But
I
then
don't think
again,
so.
that's my first game, so it's quite funny. So I try to focus on that side. I started with the Binance Smart Chain, but at some point I moved on to Harmony, where I discovered I discovered the cosmic universe, loot swaps, stuff like that. But then again, I've hit DeFi Kingdoms, which, as we all know, it's at some point it was in top 100 market cap. So we've been there since around $1. So and we've been farming this whole time. I told them, guys, just buy in. We buy in. Obviously, do your own research, but we just bought in and started farming. I was telling them, giving them the exit points, where to, where the hype is already, overheating, where to rebuy in, or where to, re-enter or enter if somebody was, just joining the group later on. So we've been riding that whole wave up to $20, along with farming with sick APRs. I believe on that call we made in total, if you count the locked jewels, around 30 to 40x easily.
Wow.
So solid gains, especially that the Bitcoin was on the decline. For 2-3 months it was on the decline.
Hmm.
And DeFi Kingdom that time, I don't know, I think it went 4 or 5x. So through that time we were like, just chilling, and doing some other stuff. But yes, I mostly try to focus on young projects, which are either being developed, underdeveloped, or underhyped.
Interesting. So are you seeing certain projects on certain chains seeming more promising, or you look across all different chains and it's just a full mixture for you at this point?
I do the look across the board, especially if somebody shows me a project and asks for an insight. If it doesn't spot any red flags on the very beginning, then I just either have somebody from my team to look over it and give me the brief overview before I look myself, or I just do it myself if I have enough time. But mostly right now we are focusing on Harmony because there is so many projects coming out on Harmony. And we've started to come on Phantom, like the Lost Kingdom, right?
Yeah, so just for anybody watching, y'all may be wondering, like, where did Professor Crypto Banana decide to do a collab with Dex Laboratory? Well, actually, if you recall, I did an interview for TLK, The Lost Kingdom, and they had a big Polish section. So I hopped on in there. I'm like, oh, I actually, believe it or not, I know some Polish. So in the next video, I'm going to be hopping over on Dex's channel, Dex Laboratory's channel, and I'm going to be doing my Polish side. So it'll be pretty cool. So I figured it'd be also really cool to find out what's going on across the sea. So what got you into the Lost Kingdom then?
Well, actually, it was a recommendation from one of our community members. She actually shown it to us. She was like, just to have a look. And once I've hit it off with Waldo, we started chatting. I saw how very, how to say it, the attention to detail that they have. As they are very touchy with all their stuff, paying attention to the smallest detail. I like that because I'm also a guy who is paying attention to the detail. So we were talking and then decided we could collaborate together in some way. I could introduce my community to them, and that's where they got the influx of like 200 people on their Discord from my community.
Nice.
While everybody was interested in obviously getting whitelisted and so on. But
Agreed.
yeah, overall quite promising project.
Interesting. So then, does that ever concern you that the time frame is a little bit longer? Because in order to come out with all the extra, the full roadmap, the plan, DeFi Kingdoms is the same way, right? Do you ever get concerned that some of these projects it takes a long amount of time, and does that factor into how proceed with the investing?
Oh yes, definitely. When it comes to the horizon, to the investment horizon, I do check the stuff if the project is promising some long-term stuff. Because when you enter a project as an investor, you are looking if you will be able to exit liquidity while the pump is still going. You don't think about the end product. Basically, none of the smart investors is thinking, I'm going to wait until this product is delivered and then I'm going to have fun. Sorry to say, but nobody cares about the final product, about the final goal, about the last milestone. People want to make sure they have enough time when they enter to exit in profit. This is the main thing about behind the investor's mind. And well, if they are an investor and not just a fun, this should be something on the mindset. But this is very difficult, right? Because you have emotions. You start to get attached to the project. So that's where the entire magic comes in. When I tell people, okay, guys, time to cut loose this one, or time to liquidate those profits or something, start exiting liquidity slowly, just not to make a dent, because something I would hate to see is getting a project wrecked because I tell 200 people to sell. This is something I would never ever do. Whenever I tell people, I give them some sort of range where they can start exiting liquidity, but not to do it violently, because that's just causing earthquakes, which are just not necessary for a project.
So more of a polite exit, so to speak. You
Always.
don't want other people to be all of a sudden scared and then ruin their profits or their strategies. Okay, so that's pretty good. So how do you see the GameFi future looking? Are you just saying, yes, this is the future, you know a little bit about it, and you just do the investment side to get profits and know when to enter and exit? Or do you see that this is the future and there's a lot of great things that are happening, but in the meantime, you're trading?
Oh, there is definitely a lot of good stuff coming to the GameFi section, and I believe that the whole gaming industry at some point is gonna be using the blockchain. Why? Because it gives you security, it gives you fast transactions, and it gives you the micropayments in a very nice, efficient manner, which is very accessible to the user in a simple way. But what I don't believe in is that it will be 100% decentralized. People, I understand that DeFi, decentralized finance and stuff like that. But with games, you need to think centralized solutions when it comes to servers and storing part of the information, and the part with the integration with the blockchain on the financial side. So you can have some balance in your wallet inside of the game in a centralized way, but you can anytime exchange it with your external wallet, which is on the DeFi side. So connecting those two worlds is great, but having to click through every single action inside of the game to confirm the transaction, this is killing the immersion, and this cannot happen. If you will have a game where you go in and on, like, I don't know, every 3 minutes you need to approve a transaction, this is gonna kill it. So these games right now, they either have to find some sort of balance, or they will have to evolve, because if they don't evolve, they will die out. This is pretty simple. But then again, in GameFi section, you will have a lot of these clicker games, which are just economic game, basically. People are playing with themselves, the speculators, the DEGENs, and so on, trying to get the biggest buck. So this is like having like small internal stocks inside and stuff like that, just in a funny way.
I never thought about it that way. It's like stocks, but yeah, a little game where you can see that happen. Interesting. Now, why do you think that companies such as, let's say, then Steam, because I believe Steam, they were not really liking the whole crypto
Yeah.
aspect and going against it. Why do you think that so many big gaming companies are pushing against crypto gaming when clearly it's going to happen? So why not embrace it?
Well, basically, they are already established, so it's very easy for them to push back, as they have, ground to hold on. They have established payment systems. It's working for them. So if it ain't broke, why fix it? So basically, I think this is the idea for them right now, and also they will be aware that a lot of these games, a lot of the smaller games, will be able to monetize themselves in a very quick and efficient manner, and therefore a platform like Steam will become unnecessary for lots of them. Because if people can form DAOs, and DAOs can gather information, DAOs can make some mutual decisions, people
Mhm.
will form a free platform to accumulate all of those games from the blockchain. They will just give this information out for free, and they will have it as as a big decentralized hub of games, where companies like Steam and so won't be necessary, and these creators of the games will be able to reap the full benefits and the full rewards of creating the game instead of paying Steam as well.
So how much money goes to Steam? Because I imagine if you're a small indie gaming company and you go on Steam, Steam takes some sort of profit, some sort of cut.
Definitely. Although I can't tell how many percent, as I don't know myself, but they definitely get a cut. I mean, if you want to be listed on Steam, you will have to pay something at some point, right?
Hmm. Now, do you think like we could go from zero to hero, meaning go from just regular kind of DeFi Kingdom type of game to Unreal Engine 5 game super quick? Or does there have to be a similar video game evolution from Pong to Mario, et cetera, and that's what we're seeing right now?
Well, I believe we can, and we already see a few of those games being developed, like Illuvium, where you will have the full immersion and stuff like that. All it takes, it's actually like creating a normal game. So if people think this is gonna take a very short time, they're wrong. Unless the project has already been working on a game before, and all they do is an integration with the blockchain, then this is just a game which is integrated with the blockchain technology. This is not some crypto game, you know. People misuse that because it's a nice marketing term, right? It's nice to build up hype, but it's just having an API socket, you know, which developers can use, which they can connect payments to. So this is just a normal game development, which is basically being crowdfunded due to the coins and so on, where the team, you know, can slowly cash out to pay people to build the game. So it's like a big crowdfunding campaigns. That's how I see it when it comes to those games on the blockchain. Then the ones, you know, when you call them, you know, the 3D Unreal Engine and stuff like that. This is just normal game studios building a game and using crowd funds to fund it.
So one thing that I know about video games is, and I've mentioned this before, similar to playing League of Legends, Counter-Strike, you can get skins, right? Where you just
Yeah.
pay money to have customized appearance, but then once you have it, you are stuck with it. You can't sell it, you can't rent it. How easy would it be for, let's say, League of Legends to then all of a sudden switch to crypto and use that so that people could then transfer and then League of Legends would get a cut? Is that something that's easy to change?
I believe it's doable, especially with solutions like gaming engines, which are being developed for the crypto space. So these gaming engines will be basically giving access by the APIs to developers without crypto knowledge, without blockchain programming experience, right? Without coding experience, they won't have to know Solidity, they don't have to know Rust and stuff like that, because they will have ready to socket APIs, and they will just work with the company which is providing this engine. And one of those is actually Insert Stonks. They are building an engine like that, which will be allowing people to socket their games easily onto the blockchain in order to monetize them. So there are a few projects which are already working on it. We already have Engine, right? Engine, which is helping the games to onboard to crypto. But this is for big guys, and we need Engine which is easily accessible by the small guys too.
Mm. So when we speak about engines, my understanding is that with Unreal Engine, you don't want to redo all the gaming of the physics because that takes a lot of math, etc. So it's more of a, here's a lot of things that are pre-coded. So if you want to utilize this, here you go, and you can build on top of it. So what you're saying is that there has to be something that is similar, but then also has little extra components so that it could easily talk on the blockchain with
It's
those API sockets that you were
It's
mentioning.
basically building an interoperability bridge between Unreal Engine and Unity and the blockchain system. So you need some connector. And these gaming engines, which are being developed by Engine or by Insert Stonks, are going to be that connection, that bridge between those two worlds. So this is going to just connect them. Like these guys, the blockchain is going to see the items as
Hmm.
NFTs, right? It will allow them to be converted into an NFTs on the blockchain while still staying as an item in game.
Wow. Okay. See, and that is right there. When you talk about stuff like that, where you can sell the items, do everything, that's where I see utility in terms of
Yeah.
using crypto in the video games. That in and of itself provides utility. So my last question for you before we get going here is, what other utility do you see that crypto provides to the gaming aspect?
Other ones, well, apart from allowing people to monetize their games easily and allowing character and item transfers.
Ooh, that's a big one though. That's a big one. Like such in WoW or RuneScape, being able to
Oh
sell your
yeah, I mean,
character.
if you can transfer it, to another account, that would be nice. That would be
Mhm.
nice. I mean, it kills the RPG a little bit, because you sell the character, but it's already happening. People are trading the accounts. Why not make a bank on it as well? I mean,
That's a good point.
if a game is gonna make an NFTs out of those, or allow people to create NFTs and transfer them in this special crystal box of an NFT to another account where it's gonna just get unwrapped, and there you go, it's gonna be on
Uh-huh.
the account. Why not use this? It's secure, it's simple, and it's fast.
And they can always get a cut out of it,
A
similar
cut,
to how
exactly,
taxes, you get 1,
exactly,
2%, and you're
yeah.
protecting your user base as well, as opposed to some sort of scam where they're trying to get through,
Yeah, because
boom,
they
boom.
cannot copy this, right? It's unique. That's the whole point behind it. You can't copy it. You cannot access it unless somebody hacks the bridge or the transfer, right? Otherwise, no way to get it.
Very true. All right, dude. Well, thank you so much for this interview. Wow, now I got a little, you got me thinking about GameFi a little bit more. But before we get going, can you let the audience know how to follow you? Number one, is it only going to be in Polish, or do you have different videos and sources in which it would potentially be in English as well?
So basically, my Twitter, where you can find me, this is gonna be Dex Laboratory 4. You can find me on Twitter. It's mostly English. And when it comes to the YouTube channel, I do mostly coverages in English, in Polish. But then again, I also have English analysis. Like when I cover a project, I do it in both Polish and English. That's why you see those very similar miniatures, because it's basically the same content, just in two different languages. Double the work, but then again, it's fine.
There you go. All right, dude. Well, thank you so much for hopping on. And if anybody in the audience wants to see me speak a little bit of Polish, definitely check out the video that we're going to do next. So, see you guys.
See you guys. Thank you.